Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 12th. We're just going to jump right in here, Taurus, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. You have this time for a nap card, so yeah, maybe you need a nap or you just need to take some time for yourself. Although this looks like a pretty active first row. You have the Two of Wands, which is kind of like a card, and look at this, you have this Be Fearless, Be Bold card. So maybe you're waking up from a nap, or it's like you're kind of waking up from something here, but you have that Two of Wands, which is kind of like about needing to get out into the world, needing to make some sort of change in your life, or it's basically a card of leaving a comfort zone. He's standing at the top of his castle and his village is down here. So he needs to kind of like move away from his village or leave a comfort zone to get something that he wants in life. This could be, love, business, money, spiritually, doesn't really matter. But I kind of feel this reading is encouraging more action. You also have the Magician, and the Magician is kind of like a card of action because, number one, it represents needing to take action. I always say with the Magician that it's a very good card. He could be manifesting things, but he has mastery over all the suits of the tarot in front of him, and he just needs to, pick a tool and use it. So, and the other thing is that you might be trying to get something to be successful. I see that here in your reading where it's like you could have a business, a career. Even if you're retired, you could be like trying to make investments successful or whatever. And, this could say that maybe you're using the wrong tool. So if something isn't working how you want it to, again, I can't tell you which tool to use, but it basically just says try everything. It's like maybe you're leading with your emotions and you should lead with your logic, with the swords, or maybe you're not being creative enough and maybe you need to use your wand energy to be more creative, or maybe you need to add more creativity to whatever isn't working in your life. So again, I can't tell you what to do, but I would try something different. I do feel you're in a place of reinvention. He has a snake eating its own tail wrapped around his waist, and that is the Ouroboros, and it does represent reinventing yourself or kind of changing who you are. The reason I'm talking about trying everything is because of the Justice card. With Justice, we have to try things. Justice is cause and effect. So again, if something isn't working in your business, maybe it's time to, add more creativity or to be more creative. Again, I would also pay attention to what other people have told you. Maybe other people have told you some things that you should do, and maybe you just haven't done them is what I would say. So again, I would like try the things that work. It's kind of funny because it's like I was talking to someone the other day, and they basically work on YouTube in a very they're making things hard on themselves, right? Let's put it that way. I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to talk about this person, but what I would say is they are making things very hard on themselves when they could do things that are much easier. And they basically asked me, they could easily have taken their content and they could twist it for a better niche, right? Is what I'm trying to get at here. They could easily talk about what they talk about, and they could gear it more towards relationships or business or whatever, kind of like the big four, the things that actually get views. And they were kind of like trying to make a point that they said they don't want to be like everyone else. And, I had to tell this person, I'm like, what, sometimes we just have to do what works. And, I kind of get, the reason I'm talking about this here, Taurus, is because it's like, yeah, you might sometimes, I've had to learn this hard lesson in my life as well. It's like what you want might not be what everybody else wants, or it's like the way you want to do something, it might just be what you want, but not what your boss wants, or whatever the case may be. I feel like some of you might be dealing with a situation like that, especially in business and or work, like I said. And I feel like this is saying, just do what works, because it'll make your life so much easier. With the Two of Wands, you have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords about making a decision, doing something you've never done before. You definitely need to get out into the world. I mean, the Two of Wands, he has that world in his hands, but he's like looking out in front of him. He's not looking at the world. He's not looking at the opportunity that exists right in front of him, the world. He could easily, get out there and do new things. With the Magician, you have the Knight of Cups. I do feel like some of you are attracting love. I mean, clearly, this is a very good love reading. Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups. Even the Three of Cups is a really good love card. Three of Cups can represent a celebration, a reunion, being with a person who really wants to work on a team. So that's the type of person that I see here. But I do feel like some of you maybe are healing from a heartbreak, obviously, with the Three of Swords. So, make sure you're fully healed if you are attracting love into your life. With the Justice card, you have the Eight of Swords. you cannot make this stuff up, Taurus. Like, literally, Eight of Swords is my card of only seeing one way of doing things. Eight of Swords literally says you only see one way of doing things when there are many ways to do things. So I kind of feel like this is saying, again, open up to all the ways that there are to do something. Everybody gets the Eight of Swords nowadays. I think that there is a lot of fixed energy. I mean, there's a lot of energy in Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus as well, which could make us like very fixed and only see one way of doing things. It reminds me of like years ago, I talked to another person on YouTube, and it's like they were having problems with their business. They tried to start like a couponing channel basically and all this other stuff, and they were trying to sell products. And they're like, why aren't people buying my products? I'm like, what type of people use coupons, right? People who are trying to save money. So it's like again, I kind of feel like there's one of those head slappers going on here, and we haven't even finished the reading yet, but it's like I get one of those moments where it's like, the answer to something here could be so obvious that you are going to slap yourself in the head when you find it. And for some of you, it could have to do with business. For others, it could have to do with love, take it how it resonates, or whatever else you're doing in your life. But it's kind of like one of those obvious things that maybe you're not seeing with the Eight of Swords here. So I hope this is making sense. I do feel you either have a fire sign in your life, or just someone you look up to who could provide an answer for you. So Three of Cups really says, don't be afraid to tap into your community. If you like this, to me here, good reading, by the way, but I do feel a little stuck. Like I said, just like kind of one of those head slapper moments where it's like your business or your career, your love life isn't working, and there's a person who has a very solid answer here for you. But again, you're gonna have to ask, people that you look up to. Next, you have this Badger Spirit. It says, be fearless, be bold. Definitely, I mean, I talk about this all the time, how, we all have to be bold right now. I feel like all of us, anything we want, we really, really have to go for it. We really have to make it happen. So I kind of feel like this is saying you really have to kind of like make something happen and charge towards it, like the King of Wands. The King of Wands, he really goes for things. He doesn't just dabble, right? You have the Three of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. The Three of Swords is like a separation. So I do feel like some of you could be going through some sort of separation or separating away from something here. Again, it feels like something that already happened, but maybe you're still kind of, I wouldn't say you're holding on to it, but there could still be some attachments to something from the past. It kind of gives me the vibes of being very attracted to a person and it didn't work out, and it's just like I feel like it's dragging out a little bit here. So I do feel like now is the time to heal. You have the Four of Pentacles, which is like holding on too tightly to something. Again, I feel like saying, again, this is not going to be true for all of you, so take it how it resonates. But I feel like for some of you, I feel like saying the best is yet to come. Like, this is not the best you could do. So if this was a person, I feel like it wasn't even close. If this is a business, same thing, or a career, I feel like there's something so much better. And again, I do feel like there's like a head slapper moment going on here where you're going to be, slapping yourself upside the head in a good way. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? It's like sometimes I think, if this is an ex, or even if it's a business or something that you lost, I think you need to write a list of, I feel like you should write a list of all the positive traits, right? This is something that Esther Hicks will have you do, write all the positive traits, but I also feel like you need to have a list of oh no-nos. Like, every time I've ever broken up with someone, I write a list of all the bad stuff they did, because anytime I think like, oh, they were great, I miss them, and then I look at their list, and I'm always like, oh, clip their toenails in bed, always had Cheeto breath, or like, whatever the case may be. It's like, once you start reading that list, you're like, nope, they weren't that great, So, I feel like, we always got into arguments over the dishwasher, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on, right? So I feel like some of you, maybe you need to write that list of like what was wrong with a person. They were a liar, on and on and on. Maybe you need to write out every single lie that they told you. And then you can look at it and say, no, they weren't that great. They weren't, the best that I can do. And same thing with a job or a business. I feel like maybe you need to write down a list of like what's going on here. Cause it's weird. Cause I feel like you've moved on from whatever this is, but it's still lingering. With the Three of Swords, Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is defending yourself. And, Seven of Wands is also a card of defending your position at the top of a hill. So it's like, whatever this is, it's like you are not going to allow it back into your life. But, again, there could still be like this attachment here. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Strength card. I feel like you've been very patient. I feel like this situation has developed strength inside of you. You're not even the same person anymore as you were, like a year ago. So, I feel for a lot of you, this is like a pretty significant growth that's gone on here. I feel you're much stronger, much wiser, and I feel like maybe if you're dealing with a person, they're exactly the same. Like a past person, and you're just like, I feel like you need to realize that you're different. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. Yeah, I feel like you're going to eventually make this sacrifice. Again, the woman and the child in the boat on the Six of Swords, they're normally only wearing the clothing on their back. So they're completely moving on, completely cutting something out and moving on to calmer shores. So, again, it can kind of represent completely moving on from something. Are you guy? You have this card in the unexpected. It says something from your past will resurface. It's okay to revisit it. So that's interesting. I saw it there. I didn't see this card when I was pulling, and then I saw it there. I was like, oh, damn it. You have this mistakes card. It says mistakes will be made, but you'll learn from them. Past mistakes left you financially insecure and keeping you stuck. Again, I didn't even read these cards, and I knew there was like something going on here about keeping stuck. I feel like it could be, if this is someone coming in for closure or clarity, I don't think this reading is saying you're going back to this person, if it's a person. For others, this could be something like revisiting your financial blocks or your money blocks. And you could be kind of like learning, you're like learning what to do to overcome those things is what I'm getting here. You have the Ten of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Three of Cups. Again, Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, good things coming in after a difficult period of time. So definitely something to think about. Again, if this is an ex who's coming back and if they have changed and they can prove it, then great, But, Ten of Cups can be an illusion sometimes. Those 10 cups exist up in the clouds. They don't exist on Earth. So, but at the same time, I do kind of feel for some of you, and I never say this because I'm a big fan of not going back to exes. So, I'm like the only reader on YouTube that encourages people not to go back to an ex, and I never think it's a good idea anyway. But what I would say here is that again, if they've changed, they've changed. I also feel there is just like a lot of happiness coming in for you here, probably because of whatever this new opportunity is. Again, if you want love, this could definitely be a water sign. You have like water, fire really stand out to me here as far as love is concerned. But he has that fish in that cup there. And I always say, like, he really needs to grab onto that fish, whatever it is, to make it happen. Because the fish could be an opportunity, but that fish could easily jump out of the cup and get back into the water. So I do feel this is saying, like, don't hesitate on something, like on an opportunity that could be coming in for you. I feel, again, you're going to have to like be fearless, be bold, and go towards this opportunity, which could be the King of Wands. It could be a person, doesn't have to be. Again, King of Wands is something, outside of it being a person, like let's say you don't want a person. King of Wands can be, like an entrepreneurial opportunity. It's really just something you want to nurture into existence. So, if you have an opportunity to do something that you're going to care about, that you want to care for, like some sort of project, business, whatever, I would go for it. You have the Three of Cups here. Three of Cups is a celebration. So, again, I do feel like there's a celebration. If an ex is coming back here, again, I'm not saying you're going to go back to this person, but if they do come in with closure, it could be like, it could lead to a celebration, or it could be one of those things where you do, like, it heals you, from the situation. So let's see here, Taurus. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Six of Cups. I mean, do I need to say it? Probably not, everything I just said, literally. So there you go. Definitely could be someone coming back from the past. It's funny, I don't even consider Six of Cups to be a person coming back from the past. To me, it's just a card of nostalgia. It's just a card of thinking of the past, but it is interesting. So, right there you go. She has her back to the past, the Queen of Swords. So, again, this could be one of those things where a person is coming in with closure and you're just like moving on from it. So I'm not so sure that you'd go back to this. With the Page of Cups, this is what you're looking for sure. I think I already said something about this at the beginning when I was talking about the Three of Cups, but the Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork. So, I feel like you're looking for a person who puts in the work, like wants to be on a team. And I definitely feel you could be attracting a new person who is like a much better, team player. So that's what I feel is going on here. With the Three of Cups, you have the Tower. It will be shocking if a person returns to your life. I mean, I do feel like this could be shocking return. I'm not even trying to be clickbaity here. I literally feel, this could be someone you never thought would come back to apologize. But again, that also suggests to me that you're probably not going to take them back because, if you're that surprised about it, then they probably did something stupid to end up in this situation anyway. And the other thing I would say is that you have the Seven of Wands here, and the Seven of Wands would be having boundaries or putting up boundaries. And so, again, I'm not so sure that you would go back to this person if it is a past person. Next, in the area of what you need, this is messages from your future self. You have this Pure card. It says, you decide, the choice is yours. So again, maybe this is why I'm confused right now, because the choice is yours. Again, if you are going to take someone back, I would make sure, it's like you can't go back as the same person. Again, this is what I always tell people. If you want to go back to an ex, fine. But it's like, make sure that you've improved yourself, and then make sure they've also improved themselves, because it obviously didn't work the first time. You were both the same. Nothing has changed. Everything is the same, for the most part. So if everybody's the same, then it's just going to have the same outcome. If everybody's different, if, the two people in the situation have worked on their stuff, then I think then go for it, is what I would say. Having said that, you have the Queen of Swords here. She has her back to the past. So Queen of Swords kind of suggests that you are probably moving on from this situation and you're just focusing on the future. I do want to actually pull the card that right here, and there you go. Are you kidding? It just says yes on it. So I feel like if you're asking, should I move on? The answer is yes. If you're asking, should I move forward? Yes. You have the Ace of Cups here. Ace of Cups can be a card of your emotions overflowing. It's definitely a card of happiness and joy and good things coming in for you. I also feel like some of you, for whatever reason, this could be moving. I'm wondering, like, there's a W right here. I'm wondering if some of you are moving west or to the west. That might be for some of you. But for the most part, I feel like you're looking for fulfilling situations. Like, basically, this is what you're looking for, these two cards together. The King of Wands, he really nurtures something into existence. So it's like, if it's love, he really, really takes care of it. If it's a business, a baby, whatever, he raises things like they are babies. He really, really takes care of the things that he cares about. The Ace of Cups is pretty similar. Like, if you get an Ace of Cups in your life, whether it's love or otherwise, doesn't matter. But it's something you really want to take care of, because the Ace of Cups fills itself up. It is self-filling. So it's like it's always providing energy for you. And I feel like that's what you're looking for, is like a business or a career or something that kind of like is a self-filling cup, something that can support you, that provides you with more than enough energy. Could be love, business, I don't know, I'm getting everything here for you. It makes sense that everything comes up for you because, again, Jupiter is in your sign, very expansive. And here you go, with the Queen of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles, love it. Ten of Pentacles is building and leaving a legacy. It is like building something that lasts for a very long period of time. As I always say, you also have Uranus in Taurus, and, you're having Uranus in your sign in Taurus like that is all about building and leaving a legacy. It's all about, creating long-term security in your life. So I kind of feel like that's what you're doing here. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Emperor. Yeah, you're looking for like a real boss, and it definitely could be a fire sign for sure. I feel like you always get fire, so, wouldn't really surprise me. It could also be a water sign as well. But, regardless, whatever it is, I feel like it's a real boss. And, by the way, like I said earlier, if you are having a problem in work or business or your career or with your finances, I really get the feeling from this reading that there's like a person or someone who could really help you with some ideas. And again, I feel like it could be someone who's close to you, who you look up to, all that other good stuff. So, there you go. With the King of Wands, you have the High Priestess. Definitely need to trust your intuition at this time. So, I feel like some of you need to listen to your inner voice. I also feel like you need to kind of like open up to mystery. She is the card of mystery, but I always feel like sometimes with the High Priestess, I feel like we should dig into mystery, as in, like, she's a sign that says something mysterious where you don't know all the answers, hold some gold for you, or hold something of value. So don't be afraid to, like, if you're curious about something like a business change that you want to make or whatever, I would start learning about it. Probably, lead to a lot of success for you. So we're going to pull 5 main themes now. Taurus, you have this Coral card. Again, I would be careful of this person coming back. If you have a person, maybe you want to block them because, again, Tower, 3 of Swords, 3 of Cups. This could be like someone coming in and starting a fight or telling you that they cheated on you or something like that. So, again, if you don't want to know that, then I would definitely be careful, in this reading. Next, you have this Optimism card. Yeah, this is what I would focus on, is happiness. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is a card of needing to focus on happiness and joy. They are standing in the real world. The cups exist up here, and it just says that they are choosing to be happy. But they have to make that choice. So, I feel like being optimistic is a choice. Next, you have this Achievements card. Yeah, clearly Ten of Pentacles, some sort of major achievement coming in for you. I really love this for work or business, this reading for sure, especially if you're bossing up. There's something good coming in. You have this negotiation card. I feel like there's a person who's trying to negotiate with you, but I would say no. It's like why should you settle? It's not even about settling. It's more like, it's like, why can't someone just give you 100% is what I would say here. Why do they have to play so many games? And I don't know. That's all I'll say there. You have this riches card. This is what I would focus on, is your own abundance. I don't even think this is just money. This could be money that you're attracting, but it could also just be focusing on abundance, or getting into more abundant situations. I do feel the universe is trying to say, like, hey, there's especially with that Page of Cups I was getting, like, don't let that fish escape. That fish is a new opportunity here, right there, that fish that he's got in his cup. And I feel like it's saying, like, hey, there are some abundant opportunities, but you need to make sure you don't miss out on them. Now, this looks really good here, Taurus. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.